So Alberto, I think that whenever you want, we can start. Maybe if you want to share your screen and introduce us to the world of Metaverse.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Let's. Okay, Daniela, can you confirm that the screen is sharing already?
Not at the moment.
All right. I
Yes.
think it's going to be shared right now. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Let's talk about the metaverse and virtual lands in terms of agricultural applications, because this is the subject of today. It's a very, very vast issue to talk about, and I wish that within the 15 minutes that I've been given, I can give you certain ideas and certain points to think about and how we could eventually drive our business opportunities and everything that comes with it to brighter futures for everybody. Okay, talking about the metaverse. The metaverse, in very simple way to define it, is whatever we do online that we could have done it offline. So whatever application that we're using today, such as Zoom, such as the Gather Town applications and everything, okay, give us a complete feeling of what the real metaverse is and it's going to be. Obviously, technology will bring us to be more and more interactive, more realistic, and more overwhelming around the digital infrastructures. But if you think about it, we've been within a metaverse part of the world already for a few years. It's not a new concept. It's a concept that is going to be defined on a daily basis nowadays with new standards and new technologies, and it's somehow the old El Dorado. So it's like the first come, the first serve. But there are a lot of things that have been already done, but there is a huge amount of things which need to be discovered and applied. So what we confuse sometimes the metaverse is what we think about the virtual reality. And what we know about virtual reality is that they project us into a world of things that we could possibly touch, but we actually do not really interact with unless behind a keyboard and a screen or a visors and certain tools like joysticks that help us to interact with the digital worlds. But if we add to the virtual reality, what is augmented reality? That means that we're gonna receive a projection of what we have in front with additional informations and parameters to value and analyze things real time. You understand that things are changing a lot. And so putting the technology into place, we could definitely think that in a very close future, we will be able to arrange a complete different environment around us and interact with it with a very smooth approach, leaving us physically distant from where the real infrastructure is, but actually so close that we will know much more than what we actually know today. Why this? Because the metaverse, as is thought, it's combining what it is the virtual reality, the augmented reality, the new infrastructures, which is decentralized and so on, is no more server-based, and the connections of all things together through a chain of informations that are connected to each other. So the basic of a metaverse is working on the blockchain. This is a very important statement that we need to acquire and remember, because once we think about the metaverse, it's no more a single application standalone running on a server, but it is something that is proved and transparent. And it's there to stay because it cannot be changed and it cannot be modified. So whatever we do in terms of let's call it supply chain of a process of our business that we're going to develop, it's going to be very invisible to anyone. Okay, from the financial transaction to the purchasing, to the seeding, to the crops, to the harvest, to everything within the agricultural world, within any world. But let's talk about the agricultural world in particular. So, what are the metaverse components that we are going to need to make everything work? Okay, first of all is the infrastructure. The infrastructures need cloud computing. That means that we do not rely anymore on a single computer based in a physical office, but we need to apply to much more computing capabilities, which is distributed throughout the cloud. Okay, so we will need a lot of connectivity. And the connectivity need to be wireless, because we will not have any cables going on within the devices, the sensors and all of the other products that we will control remotely. And this is so important. Then we will need an interface. For the interface, we will be able to use virtual reality headsets. Okay, we know that Facebook and now Meta bought in 2014 a company called Oculus for visors, and the project was to interact and to enter the world of visual interaction and virtual reality with this headset, but also haptics devices that let us give a feedback, a real feedback, a tactical feedback on whatever actions we do, and augmented reality glasses. So starting with what initially Google in 2012, 2013 presented as the revolution on everything, and then stopped it because of it was too much ahead of times, and probably there were too many issues to be understood about the privacies and other issues. But anyway, putting all this together, you know, is going to be our interface to react and interact with the virtual world where we will work. But another thing which is very important is the decentralization. I mean, there will not be any more the so-called server-based computing. It will be all decentralized and controlled by what we know now as the blockchain. The blockchain is a technology that gives us the possibility to complete an action on the cloud, creating a stamp mark that will define the type of action, and everybody who is at the same time seeing these actions, we will certify the action with another stamp mark. And so all of these stamp marks are like part of a chain that are blocked together and linked, so that if you go and change any of a chain, you know, all things will change together. So basically is unmutable. And this is the most important asset. In addition to this, we have edge computing, which give us more computing power, and artificial intelligence, so that everything can be based on data, and we can, based on the data as well as we can even predict certain situations, be in faulty situations or engaging situations. Okay, so the all things together give us a spatial computing. So everything that we will have is going to be visualized on a 3D forms, and we will use new modeling tools. And then this will give us a possibility to create what we call the creators economy, so that there will be this much new tools, design tools, e-commerce tools, assets, digital asset tools, which will be implemented in the whole things, like having minting or having a new cryptocurrency just to deal within the certain frame that we're talking about, okay, and give a possibility to give prizes and tips and exchange money, exchange values based on a complete different environment. Okay, obviously, this will give us also the possibility to discover new media, new social, a complete new social impact, and have new reviews, advertising, but also having a gaming environment where people get involved into this gamification situation where they will be following this new trend, okay? And all of this, it concludes with experience. That means that people will feel a completely new experience situation, and that they will be trained into this 3D interaction and in complete immersive workspaces. We have seen some examples already, and people, some of them are happy, some other they say that it's terrible, but we're just at the very beginning. This is the dawn of the era, and that's why I say, you know, the first come is the first set. So once we understand what the components of a metaverse are, it's also good to understand what is the technology behind it. I already mentioned about the blockchain, which is a decentralized and transparent solution to verify and prove the ownership of any actions. In particular, today we have two options to choose when there is a transaction going on, there is an action going on the metaverse, which are either some what we call coins, referring to crypto, and what we call NFT. The difference between the two is that the coins is a tangible items. That means that you can give it a value and exchange it for a fixed value. So you can create your own currency for an environment that you're going to use. And you can have this approach to create a certain economy systems, okay? While the NFT instead is a non-fungible token, that it means that it is a certified proof of ownership of anything we could apply, be it an image, be it a tools, be it a digital instruments, be it music, be it whatever. Today, we are using the NFT to certify the ownership for many things, starting also from physical things. I have seen NFT that certify the ownership for buildings, for apartments, for cars, for jewelry, for wine, for crops, and for land where to work on the crops, real land, okay? So this is exactly what we need to focus on. The blockchain is so important to certify and give maximal transparency and maximal reliability of all the possible transactions that are behind the business or the proposal that we're gonna talk. And again, the technology is augmented reality, virtual reality that is going to engage us in an immersive 3D experience in this virtual world. And then we will have artificial intelligence, as I said before, okay, strategic planning, insight-based decision-making, and efficient computing, facial recognition, predictions, okay? Prediction is so much important in AI. We have to think that how we look at data. We look just at what the data show us, but the data, once they are analyzed within a certain time frame, you know, they give us so many information that we humans are not even able to imagine. And so the predictability that we will have once we handle a mass of data will be very, very, very important, okay? Internet of Things, IoT. IoT is the possibility to connect whatever sensor, valve, switch, you name it, you have it, okay? Together with your remote control, which is the key to interact and to activate situation on prediction of certain situations that will happen or we will want it to happen, okay? So smart devices, thermostat, cameras, sensors, whatever, it is all controlled by IoT devices, okay? And then again, the whole job to represent it into 3D, so to make it so real for us that we will be able to kind of live the real role in our secondary life in this virtual world, okay? So we will need now to understand what could be the benefit for adding metaverse and the blockchains to the agricultures. And I analyzed few of them, okay? It is not comprehensive of everything, but I believe that this is enough to understand what the results could be, okay? So let's talk about better farm inventory management. First of all, the blockchain is perfect for the inventory management because it will keep track of the storage of the environment and will notify when it's going to expire, when the product is no more available, and when you will need to have new things. And it will not be based on a single computer, but it will be based on the supply chain, the entire supply chain. So it is also transparent. So there won't be any scandals or any situation where goods is not available or we cannot predict, or the war in Ukraine and we don't have a grain. So the situation will be completely different, and we can take proper measures for that, and we can predict situation also based on many different factors. Then we have a possibility to enhance the agriculture supply with very efficient method, okay, and increasing the efficiency throughout the industry, and using the blockchain immutable ledger system, which is the key behind the blockchain. It can quickly address all the elements and reduce drastically the cost of the farming processes and increase the output of the overall efficiency, okay? And then with the modernization of farm management software, which is basically all the softwares that farms are supposed to already implement. But today we know that not all farms have implemented a management software. And this is an important step, because the more we go ahead, the more integration we need. So if it is integrated directly within the blockchains and the metaverse, it will be a great benefit for the modernization of the process. And there will be no more a typical client-server model, as I said, and it will be, better distribute management, and with a secure and immutable data. Immutable data that will be protected also from cyber attack. And this is so important to understand. Now, going on and talking about how security for IoT optimization will help us, okay? The agriculture industry needs IoT devices to keep track of our productions. As I said, the sensor and all the mechanical and electronical switches to work within the fields are going to be integrated in the system. So the security for the IoT will be granted by the blockchain itself, and if they won't be hackerable by other people who wants to damage the situation. Now, using the machines, okay, we can record the condition of the weather, and we can adjust accordingly to what we need to do in a way that we can really get the maximal benefit from it. And this will also give a possibility to provide a fair price of a farming that will work in the market, okay? Because companies today, most of companies, they sometimes don't get a fair price for the products they produce. The price is dictated somehow by the market and the offering that you have. And this is a very big problem, both for the distribution channels and for the consumers who are the one who suffer the most about this kind of problem. So having a blockchain systems where everything is controlled and is transparent will definitely provide more profit for the farmer and a better and fair pricing also for the consumers. And we will definitely be able to avoid the situation like the one we are in now, that there will be people starving because the harvest is not yet being delivered to destinations. Okay, the market scenario in the agriculture market scenario in the metaverse will be completely different if we are able to apply these things. And why? Because the transparency in agriculture and the subsidies, you know, having to delegate others without knowing who's doing what, okay, has been always one of the biggest problems within the agricultural world. And I'm Italian, I've been living in China for 30 plus years, and I know and I've seen things that are really, really bad. And I don't want to talk about it, and I don't want to see them again. So when we do and go to solve this kind of problems, we will definitely appreciate the transparency in the subsiding the all agricultural systems, okay? Because even if at the end is the government that pay for it, but the government is financed by the taxpayers. Thus, we need to know that those funds are given to the companies that really do things instead of being wasted in certain vicious circles, okay, let's call them this way, okay. And then with the metaverse, within the metaverse and within the coins that we're gonna create, will be the possibility to provide microloans for small and mid-sized farmers. This is a way to help the farmers to have enough funds to start their job, to start their crops, and to go on with their growth, okay? And this kind of microloans can be provided by financial institutions as well as by private consumers that they want to give the money to as a bonus and an extra payment to the farmers to give them a prize for the good job that they've been doing. And this is definitely a way to insensitize the practice of sustainable products. So today, if we look at the processes, sometimes we realize that it's not really sustainable. But there is a possibility to make it sustainable. So in reality, the issue is to overuse the pesticides and that contaminate the waters, and then it's really a big problem to go on. So instead, if we offer incentives to the farmers who are willing to use sustainable methods rather than using chemicals, okay, we will protect the environment, and it will incentivize more sustainable practices. And all of these comes along with a better accountability for all enterprises, because the metaverse and the blockchain help to increase the transparency relating to multinational companies, and the transparency relating also with the end consumers that knows exactly where the products come from and the process that is behind it. So this is what I see about the benefit of applying agriculture in the metaverse world. And I hope that I have given enough information for you to find more information about it. My name is Alberto Antinucci. I've been living in China for 30 plus years, and my job is to help companies to design their strategy to increase their business. And I run a company that is called Sapiens Analytics. Sapiens Analytics, we do data analysis with artificial intelligence. Thank you for listening.
Thanks to you. Thanks a lot, Alberto, for your quick but exhaustive overview about the
Give me
metaverse.
15 minutes, Daniela. This is the time you gave me. I think I did a few more minutes than expected. I think we have a Q&A session right now, correct?
Yeah, we have a few minutes. I don't know if there is any question from the audience. Otherwise, I have a very quick question that is listen to you. I was thinking that everyone talks about the metaverse, but very few have the direct experience of it. So what do you think are the real obstacles to the diffusion of the metaverse today?
Okay, there is a hype with this word. Okay, but as I say, the metaverse is everything that we do online and is not, and it's possible to do it offline. So should we have a Zoom conversation, we are using the metaverse to do it, okay? The technology, as I explained before, today is completed by what it is, the blockchain integrated with the metaverse. So going to decentralize all the infrastructures and to have the possibility to do the same things, but completely controlled. To do this, there is one big obstacle. It is the technology itself. The technology needs to be adopted by everyone, and there is no standard to adopt it. So there are different technologies that brings on different solutions, and different solutions that are brought on a different platform. Now, there is this distance between this platform. That means that if you choose to work on a platform, it will, whatever you will do on that platform will not be reflected on another one, because it's just like two parallel worlds. So this is the limit we have today. We will need to have not only decentralized, but also trans-communicating the informations at the same time. So this is the limit we have today. Once this limit is taken over, then it will be a complete highway of information where everybody can jump in and really take advantage of, take positive advantage of a technology and create and contribute to the whole development of a system.
There is another question from the audience. So eventually, metaverse is a question of data management and traceability. In the same way, this morning, OKP4 talked about dataverse.
That's correct. That's correct. Absolutely agree. It is the metaverse is how we handle the information we have, and to handle the informations, we need first to have what I call intellectual honesty. So we need to have a data storage which is distributed, accessible to everyone, and where the informations can be unmodifiable. That means that we must be sure that whatever we say corresponds to the truth. And if we say and do it and do something, that things can be proved always at any time. And that is the basic of all the business.
So thanks a lot. Thanks to everybody. I think our time is over now, and I think we can move forward to the next workshop. Bye. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much.